Hey, everybody, and Lena. So tonight I thought I'd try something a little different. So tonight will be unfiltered Final Order Cutoff edition. So what I thought I would do tonight is kind of go through how I order my comics every week. So this is usually what I do on a Friday night. I go through a couple of the distributors, um, pick out all my stuff, and then I submit it to my local comic shop. And this is how a lot of people do it. A lot of people have subscription boxes at comic shops, which is completely fine. And they love that. But you can also do it through Final Order Cutoff. Sorry about the lighting here. My eyes can't really see. But anyway, so what I would thought I'd do is this is a test run. I hopefully will do this every week starting now. But as you'll see, every week is going to be different. And how each distributor, which is the main ones we'll deal with tonight, is Lunar Distribution and Penguin Random House, PRH, because Lunar's big one is DC and Penguin's is Marvel, but they each have different books, which you'll see. So I'm going to share my screen, and then we will start going in and looking at books. And anyone can do this. Anyone can go to these sites that I'm going to. You just go, you go through it, you make your list, and you send it off to whoever you use as your local comic shop. So let me share a screen here. We'll go here and share. So I'm already up on the Lunar site, as you can see here. But what I will do is I will type in Lunar Distribution, as you can see there. Once again, I just want to type it so you can see what's going on. And when you hit enter, it takes you to this site. So this is the same site that comic shops use to order from with Lunar Distribution, but there's a section. So here you can go and see the catalogs. So they do a DC Connect here, but like these other catalogs are only digital. So you can look at any of those. You can pick past months and go look and see what was solicited through there. So as you can see, you can always go back to June 2020 for the first DC Connect. Then you can see there's like previews of books here, upcoming FOC, and then new releases. So you see here, it says new release 2010. You can click on 2016. This is the trades coming out next week. And you can go 2017, and this should be the list of comics that you see next week. But we're going to focus on the upcoming FOC here. So I just need to make sure that everything is working correctly and I can see everything. I don't have a dual monitor set up for this. I will probably fix that in the near future so I can see what I am showing everyone else on one screen and focus on something else. But until that happens, I'll be flipping back and forth. But we'll start with the DC FOC here. And this is what you're seeing. So we're going to start off Absolute Batman #1 having a 10th printing. So here we go. Because why not? We need a 10th printing of Absolute Batman. And I say that jokingly, but I know stores around the country keep selling out. So we have those coming out. There's an Inuk Lee cover, which I may end up getting the Inuk Lee cover, but maybe not. It's just a cover. I don't normally get Absolute Batman, but there is a crossover with Wonder Woman and Absolute Batman, so I'll probably be getting that. So there's your main cover A. If we go to the next slide, there is a Frank Cho cover. So I think I'm going to play with this. So I just copy and paste it. You're not going to be able to see my notepad, but I have a notepad open. I just kind of copy and paste it in that notepad. And that, once I get my notepad done, I can show you that. I tried to share my screen earlier, but it went into Inception mode. So it got to be a little much. But the dual monitors will fix that. So now we also have finally the second printing of Absolute Batman Annuals coming out. And we'll go back here. I am probably going to get one of these, but it's probably just going to be the main second printing so I can get the Daniel Warren Johnson cover. Go all the way to the end. Mainly because this one became pretty big because this is where Batman beat up a bunch of white supremacists, and everyone was kind of went out of their mind and decided that they needed to have this book. So it's like, okay, that's what we'll do. We'll do that. Let's see, Absolute Flash 11. As I guess now is a good time. When I was mentioning earlier that each week is different, if you notice right here, 12/15. So the FOC is due. Comic shops have to have this FOC turned in on the 15th. So most comic shops really like for you to have your FOC order in by Sunday afternoon. That way they can work and place their order on on Monday, which would be the 15th. And this one's going to be kind of interesting because it's going to be the last FOC of the year. So everything that they're telling us that there will not be an FOC for the 22nd or 29th, which is kind of interesting because last week there was very little DC or no DC on FOC. So now we've got some DC, but then Lunar is saying this is the last FOC for the year. I don't read Absolute Flash. I don't get Adventure Time. This might be a pretty easy video, but you can see all the different covers that you have through here. Alpha Dogs. I don't know what that is, but sure. Amulet Volume 4. You can see it says previously solicited. So when Diamond went out, it basically put a bunch of stuff over to Lunar. So Amulet, I have Amulet already. Don't need to order that. Ancestral Recall. Here's your Archie Valentine special. Hey, it's got Josie on it. So, hate to break the news, but I will probably order an Archie because it has Josie on the cover. And this is a Dan Parent cover, so that's kind of cool. Sorted Crisis Events, number 8. I get this in trade, so I don't worry about that here. Adam. So we have Babs, The Black Road, which is Garth Ennis. So it looks like a new Babs series is coming out. First one was actually pretty good. Doing a Batman 676 facsimile edition, Alex Ross cover. World's Finest. I'm reading World's Finest and getting the hardcovers, so I don't really need that. Some cool covers, though. Look at the Chris Sprouse cover. That's actually really cool. Trying to stay away from covers. Covers can get me in trouble. Covers can get me in trouble even when I don't want to actually necessarily read the story, but sometimes I will get something for the cover. Biker Mice for Mars. Let's see here. More Biker Mice, Bullet Adventures, Bitchcraft. You know what? I'm going to mark this down. May or may not get this. Jacqueline was reading that, so I don't know if she's going to want to get that, but I will add it to my list. Catwoman. Look, there's a Frank Cho pen sketch. Those are really cool. Stay away, though. I am a Tula Lotte sucker, so I will be getting this one because, once again, has nothing to do with Catwoman. I'll be honest, has everything to do with Tula Lotte doing the art on the cover. So that I'll be getting. Comic Shop News. I don't need 100 of those, right? Conan. Critter. Man, look at that. Looks creepy. Jeez. Wow. All right. Cul-de-sac. There's some interesting covers on. Dark Knights of Steel All Winter. Maybe that's why I was trying to tell someone about this the other day but maybe this is why I couldn't tell them, because the trade hasn't even come out for this series yet. So this took place after Dark Knights of Steel. And then this was a mini series. How was it? Does it say here? I can't. It's 6 issues dealing with Slade Wilson, which is really cool. Dark Souls, Darkness. So Darkness #1 just came out this past week, and I know a few shops sold out of it. So here's Darkness #2. If you want to read the Darkness, here's the DC, those finest editions, which are really cool. I got the Wonder Woman last week, so that was pretty nice. DC KO Green Lantern Galactic one-shot. Who is he bringing? I actually want to read that because it's Kyle. Let's see what other. Ooh, look at the wraparound. See, that's pretty cool. This is the one I'm going to get right here. Kyle Rayner is actually my favorite Green Lantern. I was a big Green Lantern fan when he was the Lantern, but DC Supergirl Next Door. This should be a kind of like the it's an anthology, and I think this is what they're using for like the Valentine's book. So lots of good people here. Paulina. That's cool. Throw that there. And Amy Reeder did this cover, so that's pretty cool. This cover's cool too. But I'll stick with the Amy Reeder cover. Don't need Dead Samurai. If anyone sees anything and they want to talk about it more, go ahead and ask at any time, or ask questions later down below if you watch it later. Man. And you see the little dot, we're like not even halfway through yet. Demon Hunters, Batman. What? That's weird. Look at that. They're doing a dynamic force. This is a dynamic forces is now going through Lunar. So interesting. Look at that. Well, so be careful with the dynamic forces stuff. It was easier to see back when it was with Diamond, but yeah, these will be way more expensive books depending on what it was. Variant covers and things like that. So dynamic forces, move on. Lots of dynamic forces. Wow. Disney art. Postcards. Hey, look at that. Maleficent. Oh, that's a cool Maleficent cover. Ooh, look at that. Oh, that's the 1 in 10. So you'll see in here, you'll see where it lists 1 in 10, 1 in 15, and things like that. So I can't actually order a 1 in 10 or 1 in 15 because that's the incentive variants for stores. They show them listed here, but it is not something that I can order. So I don't put anything like that on my list, because certain books, they only order 5. They're not going to order 15 for you. Now, if you want to cover really bad, I'm sure you could order 15 covers and then be like, hey, can I get the incentive? I'm sure they'll be more than happy to do that. Let's see here. Eden the Witches, Skull Island, Elvira. Let's see. Exquisite Corpse been really good, but I read the first few issues of that. It was really good. I'm just going to do that in trade. Ooh, there is a Gotchaman. So I am the only person at my local comic shop that is reading Gotchaman. See, this is a problem. So one thing that I've noticed with Lunar, and this is a good example, if you notice here, the Gotchaman is a one-shot, and the only one they're showing you is cover B. What that usually tells me is that they do not have a picture cover for cover A yet. So I don't know what that looks like, and it won't let me order it, even though your local comic shop is going to order it, is going to order cover A on Monday. So if you see things like this, I would suggest you ask your local comic shop about what cover A is. But I'll just put cover B on there. I'll end up asking Tess what cover A, who did cover A, and what it's supposed to be. And then if I need to switch, I'll switch. Ghost Pepper. The action figure variants have been cool, but they're like 1 in 10s. G.I. Joe 8 second printings are coming out. G.I. Joe's been really good too. Haunted Box. I Hate Fairyland. Oops, you're going to see bad words here because they didn't block it out on the cover, but I have all of the cover Bs of this, so I will continue to get cover Bs to this. And then there's cover C, but I've gotten all the other covers. Hey, look, it's a K-pop sketchbook. I don't know what that means. Oh, it's Antarctic Press. So no one knows what that means. Legacy. Oh, this is also an Antarctic Press book. Fred Perry. If you see Fred Perry, he pretty much does everything for Antarctic. So Leo Rising. I'll be honest with you, that's my other complaint with Lunar on FOC. They do not put who the publisher is. You have the ISBN here, and so technically you can go look that up or go look up the title on the web if you really need to know. I do not know why they don't put the publisher name here. The Liquidator. I don't know what that is. Love and Rockets. That's cool. Oh, they're doing a facsimile, the first edition. So this is Fantagraphics. That's actually really cool that they're doing a facsimile of the first issue of Love and Rockets. So that's actually pretty cool. Marvel Mazes. Look, you can get a maze book. Marvel Super Graphic. That's funny. Let's see. New Gods hardcover, Volume 2. That's a pretty cool cover. New Teen Titans Omnibus, Volume 2. Nightwing. So this is, I read Nightwing, but Jacqueline usually picks the cover. I can probably tell you that she's going to probably pick this cover. So I will just go ahead and put this down. I will let her make the decision later. On that front, it's Elizabeth Torch cover. That's pretty cool too. But we'll see. Ordained. Look, it's an Otter Squad. The Pie Rats. That's pretty funny too, actually. Play on words. Power Fantasy. Punchline. Ooh, they're going to do a Red Sonja. It's for the trading cards. Holy moly. Look at that. $1,200. Yeah, we can move on. Wow. Red Coat. That's been really good. Been reading that in trade. Space Riders. Ooh, Sesame Street. Speed Racer. What is this? It's a quarter release featuring a one-shot. Span the Universe. I'm enjoying the actual current Speed Racer, but I don't need that. Ooh, look at all the stitches. Lots of stitches. What? That's funny. And more stitches. Supergirl Bizarro Girl trade. Superman Unlimited. Man, we're almost there. We're almost to the end. Hey, look, there's a Mike Aldred punk rock cover. That's pretty cool, actually. Supernatural. Lots of Supernatural books or covers, not books in itself. Terminator. Terrible things. Let's keep going here. Titans 31, KO. I'm good on that. That's pretty cool. Transformers 22 second printing. Wow. Hey, it's the UK. Transformers UK opinion book. Maybe. It seems like something that I would want. Here, let me put it on my list. I always reserve the right to go back and not get books later. Wouldn't be the first time. But let's see here. Oh, that was the regular UK cover. That's funny. I have some of the UK hardcovers of the Transformer stuff, which of course I do, right? Vampirilla. I have all the Vampirillas in hardcover already. Witchblade 18. I think they're going to introduce another character from the Witchblade universe in there this time. Wonder Woman 29. I get Wonder Woman, so I will stick with my DNA cover for Wonder Woman. I do not like the face on Wonder Woman there. Yep, I'll just stick with my, that's pretty cool though. I'll stick with my DNA cover. Worst case scenario, novel. Huh. And we've made it to the end. So this is the end of Lunar. So we're done with Lunar. So now we will go to PRH. So that's where we're going to look at Marvel and everything. So that is PRHcomics.com. And we'll go there. So now we are at PRH. So you're seeing everything we have at PRH, FOC, December 15th. So we're going to look at these titles here. Now, PRH does some strange things. One of them is just sorts by random initially. So the best thing to do here is to go title A to Z. Now, PRH is kind of more interesting because you can actually hit the little heart here and it saves it to a list which you can export as a PDF, which is actually really, really cool. So we will do that. But first, we'll go through here. I am not reading 1776 and single issues. And when you're doing FOC here, if you see the incentive variant with the star, that means it's a shop incentive variant. So it's probably a 1 in 25, which means for every 25 copies of these that they order, they can order one of these. So which means that, once again, we can't order this. But I'm not doing 1776. Here's Spider-Man Annual 1. I'm not ordering any of that. I am going to order the trade for the current Spider-Man run. I'm not doing the Archie Minor Threats. Don't need Avatar. Best of TMNT collection. Nope. Boy, cried robots. Captain America, #1, third printing. Wow. Man, that's impressive. #2 is getting a third printing also. Wow, that's actually really impressive. I did not know that. That's pretty cool. 4 is getting a second printing. Wow. And then 5 is a second printing. That's impressive. Creeping Below. I don't need that. Don't need a Daredevil poster. But As you'll see, we have, that was only 36 books. We have 228, so you have to keep loading the next set of books with Penguin. That is one of the things that they do, is they make you load. Sorry, and sometimes it just takes forever. All right, now we're back. Let's see. Not reading that. Not reading Daredevil Punisher. You get a Disney mystery coloring. Dooms. Nope. Dungeons and Dragons. Not reading that. The End 2099. I have not read the first one yet. I probably should actually, though, keep. This is something I kind of want to keep reading. This is all kind of Spider People. I'm going to do that one. Event Horizon. Nope. The Expanse. Nope. Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four number 6 has a second printing. Oh, it's because it was, yeah. I guess that was back. Oh, that's number 8. So 6 was Sue becoming Malice again. And so here we're at number 8. So that one went to a second printing. FML is back. So after its little hiatus, Galactic. I don't really need another Ghost in the Shell box set. Wow. No, I do not. Ooh, it's all hardcovers, though. Yeah. I have a lot of Ghost in the Shell stuff. If you click on it, it takes you away from the page. But if you immediately go back, it takes you right where you were. So you will not lose your spot. There's your Godzilla. Godzilla Infinity Roar with Marvel. So here's the Godzilla Marvel, the new one right here with Infinity Roar. Let's see here. Hulk Smash Everything, number 1, second printing. Wow. And then Infernal Hulk. Man, they're getting the second printings and multiple printings out on these pretty quick. I need that, I believe. I need the Jessica Jones trade. And now we wait. Yeah, it's a lot of these missing covers and stuff is very, very disheartening on that. I don't know why that is. It's kind of it is Exquisite Quartz and a lot of the stuff with all the missing covers is I wish they would fix it. I wish they would fix it where it would at least show up. I have mentioned it to Lunar multiple times that it's not very helpful, but they still do not seem to want to fix that. Ooh, the new Moon Knight. Let's see here. Lots of different covers. Why is there so many Moon? Well, those are incentives, so it doesn't matter. That's the main cover. I'll just get the main cover. So we're rebooting Moon Knight again. It's still the same writer, but it's a new artist. So that's what they're doing. Sorry, keep going back and forth. Just make sure I don't miss anything. First issue of the Heretic was really good, but I decided after that since it's a boom book, it's going to be something I want to trade. So I read the first issue, and now I'm just holding out to the trade. It's just going to be easier for me to read. Micronauts coming out in the Epic Collection. Miles Morales 42. Wait, which team up does it say which one this is? So my omnibus, I honestly, I don't really care. I always still go for the cover that I like more than whether it's a direct market or not. I do have a lot of direct market covers or books of the omnibus, but it overall doesn't really matter to me. I still go by which cover I like the best. So on that Iron Man, I like the regular one better than, let's see here, Ultimate Universe Collide. There we go. Yeah, I don't need to do that. So let's go back to the Iron Man one really quick. Sorry, I'm going to be scrolling really fast. Oh, did I already pass it? G. Yeah. So I have this cover, and then they have this cover here, but I like Jack Kirby. I like the Jack Kirby Iron Man stuff a lot. So both covers are really cool, but with him flying in the outer space, I just like that cover better. So I picked the DM. If I like this one better, I would have picked that. But that's just him in front of the people where I like him flying out in space. So it's just still a preference. A lot of times on those, it's still more of a preference because I use a lot of the omnibus for research. When I want to go back and read certain stories or go back and try to cross reference something, I have the omnibus. So at the end of the day, it overall doesn't really matter a whole lot. Don't need Spider-Man. Ooh, Minecraft. Minor Threats. Nemesis. There's your New Avengers Volume 1. If you're getting that, there's your trade. I will tell you the other thing that I do for anyone watching this, I don't usually order. So Penguin does the DC trades also. So I usually order my trades. Not that it matters for anyone else but me, but I always order my trades through Penguin instead of Lunar. It's just a preference. It's easier for me. You can't go back and forth between the two because the FOCs don't match up on how it works out. But if you just pick one and stick with it, you'll always, the books will always show up on Penguin. Sometimes they show up on Penguin before Lunar. Sometimes they show up the same week. I've seen it with Penguin. The FOC for a DC book happens a week or two later, which is really weird. But I just stick with Penguin on those fronts. You can get a Punisher facsimile. Sure. Red Hulk trade, Ripcord. Like, I really would like to read more Ignition Press stuff. Like Roots of Madness is fine, but like so much of their stuff is just horror related. And I just don't do a lot of horror books. It's just not my favorite thing. Sonic, Sorcerer Supreme, number 2. And there's a Jenny Friesen cover. So guess what? It's going to be ordered. Once again, covers. Let's see what else we got. Russell Dauterman's got a cover. That's really cool too. Man, all these covers are really cool. All right, so here's going to be a thing. So Spider-Man Brand New Day Omnibus. I will order one. See, so this is another example of the direct market is this cover. The regular cover is here. The direct market is better, right? To me, the direct market cover is just a better cover. So in this instance, that's what I'm going to get. I'm going to get that direct market cover. Don't need Spy Family or Star Trek. Star Wars Strange Tales number 4, which I'm going to get this in a trade because Jeremy Whitley, and I actually like all of Jeremy Whitley stuff. Superior Avengers in trade. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Godzilla. Let's see here. I am getting this. And we are going to just stick with, I kind of like this cover with them on the van. So we're going to do that. Battle Nexus, I've stayed away from. I don't need that. I'm not reading the Twilight Zone, but everyone tells me the Twilight Zone's really good. So if you like Twilight Zone, man, already second printing of Ultimate Universe, 2 years in, #1. That's insane. Venom for your Venom people. Only 12 more books, and then we're done. We're done, people. I'm sure you're tired of going through this. I'm going to try to make this a weekly thing, though. That way people can ask questions or what they do or don't do. Let's see here. Wolfarine. Wind. Wind is wrapping up, so that should be the last. This should be it. This should be the last issue of Wind, and that should be done at that point. So, which is pretty cool. And that is it. That is Penguin. So really interesting, cool thing with Penguin now. If you go click on your heart, right? And it will give you this other page. I, once again, change it to title A to Z, try to make my comic shop's life way happier or easier. You can go download PDF. And here's your PDF. Here's the pull list. So what I do is I send this. So for the DC stuff, I have to send like a text document. But for Penguin, I actually send this. And not only does it give them the picture of what you want to order, it gives them this ISBN code. So when they go and look up stuff, let's see if we can go back to Penguin here. We can go back here. If I type in that ISBN, theoretically, it should take them to here. So it works that way when they order in Penguin. So it makes your comic shop's life a lot easier if you kind of give them that information, right? Because it will show up there. Hang on. Sorry. I don't think you saw what I saw earlier. So let me open it in a new screen. So sorry. Let me stop sharing. Stop sharing. We're back here. So I'm going to share again. And this is what I want to share. So sorry. This is what opened when I went to that area. So it opened up this screen, right? And so you can see, so I send this to the comic shop. So I download this PDF. I send it to the shop. This was that ISBN code that I was showing you. So they can take this ISBN, they can put it in their system, and it's the exact book that you want, whether it's this or that or however it needs to play out. They have exactly everything that's there, and it makes their life way easier. And like I said, it can send pictures. So this is what I send to the shop. So once again, that was from, sorry, I need to sharing again, because we'll go over here. And we're going to go back to here. So this should be what you're seeing again. So once again, I'll just go back to the beginning. You can see the heart. Order added. I don't know why. They do the weirdest things. But the download PDF, and it made that other list, right? So I downloaded it in PDF. But here, you can see on this page here, it still has all the ISBNs. So to me, it just makes the comic shop's life way easier in doing that. And it just helps them out, and it gives them an idea of more of what I really wanted to order in that instance. So there we go. So there is my FOC for, and then I will go back and check a few things, make sure that I didn't miss anything. I'm sure Jacqueline's going to look through a couple of stuff on that on the list, make sure I ordered her the right Nightwing cover. But that is basically how I go through FOC every week. And I will either find a new place to do this next time or do the lighting better. I don't know what happened here. I thought I tested this earlier and everything looked better, but I was wrong. So, but anyway, I plan on doing this every week going forward on Fridays. So next week, there really won't be a Lunar one, but there'll be a PRH. So it should be pretty quick, especially with the holidays coming in. But this seems like a good thing to do for a while. And then maybe it'll help people figure out what they want to order and give them a new stuff in there. But we'll see. So anyway, that is it for me tonight. I will sign off. Thanks for joining. And if you have any questions or anything, either shoot messages our way or leave comments under the video and we will help out. So yeah, once again, it's always something missing. That's once again, the biggest problem I have with Lunar, and I do not understand why they can't figure it out. The Tom Taylor run of Nightwing, we missed covers because they did not show up on Lunar, and I just didn't think anything of it, and we just ordered what was there. And so we pretty much have all the covers from that run now. But anyway, so, all right, we'll figure it out next time. So anyway, thanks again. I will start making this. We could take this as a trial run. We'll make this a little bit better. I'm going to get a second monitor set up so I can switch back and forth and show you a little bit more of what I do. And if people have questions, it'll be a little easier for me to answer. But anyway, everyone have a good night. Have a great weekend, and we will talk to you later. Bye.